Well, a good evening to all of you on what could be the final night of Twitter. It's trending, isn't it? Might be believable, too. Quite honestly, who knows anymore? Let's start Night Shift.
Broadcasting live and worldwide. Here's Brody Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Let's not waste any time tonight. Let's get right into the live stream. This was unfortunate that the Sharks had as much momentum as they've had in 2 years coming into tonight. 3 wins in a row, beating 3 really good teams, all on the road. You come home, it's a Red Wings team that had dropped 4 straight. They're also having a, mediocre season. But the Sharks' home record is starting to become a little bit of an unfortunate headline. 1-6-3. To be fair, one of these 6 losses was out in Prague, technically called a home game. Didn't happen at SAP Center, but in terms of being the home team, the Sharks have won 1 game, and they've lost 9. 6 plus 3 equals 9. I know it's points in 3, considering those overtime shootout losses, but you're basically 1-9 at home, and that is going to, again, unfortunately, kind of raise a flag of awareness and a theme of this team, kind of like when they were giving up all those second period goals. Remember that first 5, 6, 7 games of the year? They were getting outscored something like 19-3 in the middle frames, and they worked it out. But right now, having played 10 home games, a quarter of the home games in the books, and the Sharks have 1 win. And so that's something to think about, allowing 7 goals to Detroit tonight. Now, I do want to go back to the end of the game. I think at about the 5th goal point is when the game got a little bit out of hand after that, not just because Detroit got the 5th, 6th, and 7th goals, all 3 at the end there unanswered, but it's just a matter of tonight's game probably being a little bit closer than 7-4, but clearly Detroit was the better team. And when they had 2 3-goal-in-a-row stretches of the game, right? They had 2 in the second period, 1 to start the third, and then they scored the final 3 of the third. They came on, they did their thing, and look, this is a lesson tonight in the NHL has no easy nights, and when you play a pissed-off team like the Wings, even though they dropped 4 in a row, they can find a way to beat you and turn it around on you. I want to get into the comments. I guess, what else we haven't done in a long time, and since people are just filing in, let's do roll call. Where's everybody watching from tonight? That'll make me feel a little bit better, like we're all here together. Speaking of that, as always, Hockey Fights Cancer Night at the Tank, it brings more than just the game. And I know we make a big deal of this on television and on the broadcast side of it, but when you're really there, and I have been there for these games before, some of the tributes that go on, the moments that are planned, and the sense of community, among hockey fans who maybe don't have a lot in common other than they love the Sharks, or tonight they love the Red Wings, but they love hockey. And almost everybody else is also dealing with something else in common. They or somebody they know is fighting cancer or has fought cancer, or they've lost somebody they love to cancer. And so I wish this night didn't have to exist. And especially for all the younger people I saw tonight. The multiple kids who took the ice with the Sharks, at least during the anthem, to be on the blue line with them. Really wish this wasn't a thing. But I am glad to see the way the Sharks handle it, always with class, always with grace. They always send a message. And yeah, again, fundraising, that's all part of it. That's great. That's fantastic. But I think the sense of community that a night like tonight brings is at least equally important. So that's on the serious note there. We gonna do some roll call here? Let's see. We'll see some of the comments here. Guzma 4K also, is home bad luck for the Sharks? Yeah. It's playing out that way so far. And on the flip side, their road record 5-4-0. They seem to get right on the road. I mean, for most teams, typically, right, if you're going to have this record of 6-10-3, you would think that everything would be reversed. 1-6-3 on the road. Instead, that's their home record. Marty says, the true hockey Santa visited the studio tonight, eh? Well, no, we've had the brand new mitts and twigs for a couple games now, Marty. But at one point, I want to say it was probably about game 6 or 7 on the season. Yeah. True Santa visited the studio. Get a Warrior Alpha LX Pro and you can score like EK65. I'll tell you what, maybe it was the fact that he didn't lose his footing tonight. He didn't trip in the game on the blue line. The prior two, he tripped, cost the Sharks in the situations, didn't cost him the game. They won. He didn't trip tonight. They didn't win. What's going on? Tim Johnson checking in from Greenfield, Wisconsin. Tim, I appreciate you and, of course, your avatar of me dressed up as Robin from last year. Guzma 4K is in San Jose. Laura is in Los Angeles. Like that. It's okay. You're welcome to the party. Cheryl checking in from Menlo Park, crazy, California. Why is Menlo Park crazy? God? Just throwing up the hearts. Okay, hello, God. Marty still in Alberta. What part? Edmonton, Calgary, Lethbridge, Red Deer. I could go on and on. Dalton's in Lodi. Chris says, Brody, you were right. We were getting excited by the streak. You said, hold on. Still a good game to watch, though at least until the end. What I'm not frustrated by, but what's hard to maybe not even process but digest is that you played so well against 3 teams in a row. Dallas, Minnesota, and Las Vegas. Playoff-bound teams, no doubt. And then you go up against a team tonight who's definitely got to prove themselves of the playoff variety, and that's the Red Wings, and you allow them to score 7. You allow them to Sharks scored first in this game, but you allow them to jump in this thing and take some momentum twice in this game. I guess that's the frustrating part, is it playing down to a team's level? I'm not going to go that far and say that, but that you couldn't do what you did. If you did what you had been doing, you probably get the result tonight. And so, look, you're going to lose some games. I think the deal is tonight, if you lost and played really well, and it was a hard-fought game, okay, not a problem. Losses happen, streaks don't last forever. But when you lose and you don't play well, probably that's what it is. A little bit harder to swallow. God, you're in smelly Milpitas? Why is it smelly? Tony's in Muskegon, Michigan. Chris Martin's in Benicia. Yeah. To see the kids, and you're seeing all the kids tonight with Hockey Fights Cancer that are doing well. It puts in your mind, what they had been through prior to this and others who may not be as fortunate right now. Chris thought it was funny when Brownie hit me with the puck. As always, I hit him too once. Andrew checking in from Japan, which I am always excited about. Right now in Japan, it's got to be like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Tomorrow. That's awesome. Sorry you've been working on your graduation thesis for college. Haven't been able to join in the night shift. Andrew, do not worry. Best of luck. I hope you're able to complete all your courses and do so with stellar grades to show for it. Thank you, Andrew, for being here even once. I appreciate it. Sharks fangirl, obviously San Jose. Oh, Alden, you're here in San Francisco. What concert did you just walk out of? I'm curious about that. Hopefully you didn't walk out of Twitter headquarters tonight. By the way, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about Ryan Reynolds wanting to buy the Senators. I made a video on that earlier tonight. It's going to come out probably tomorrow or the next day here on the YouTube channel, but that's an interesting one. Medicine Hat, basically. Oh, should have thrown that in there. See how I knew it was Medicine Hat? Marty T, good to have you here. From one pod to another. All while Twitter is still holding up. Oh, my goodness. What a night. Andrew is here in San Francisco. Felix, I know what state Fremont's in. By True Hockey Santa, Brody actually means Mr. Curtis Brown raiding the Sharks Pro Shop. No, we got people on the inside at True Hockey. That's what's going on there. I think they should let Kakkonen in net to start. It's been, 4 to 5 games? Yeah, it's been 4 in a row since he started. So I think Michael, and it's a weird dynamic because you don't want to discipline Reimer. You don't want to say, well, but this is, hey, you had a streak going. The streak ended. Okay, that's fine. Maybe take this opportunity because you don't want Kakkonen to get super rusty, right? You don't want it to be too long since he's last played. You want to be fair with everybody. So again, not as a punishment to Reimer, but yeah, it is probably time for Kakkonen to get his reps in. Baker checking in from London, Ontario, once the home of Sharks captain Logan Couture. Hello, Brody. I'm from Southern California, and I get rain by Boo. What? 65 has to be the first star of the week by the NHL. He's having a great season. I'm not trying to jinx it here. John, I understand. And you look at the NHL's points leaders. Let me pull that up here 1 second. While I do that, do we have it here? We have it here, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Stand by. There, I'll even... Oh, shoot. Don't even know what I'm doing here. Here we go. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger. I'm having every problem in the world with this website right now. Almost there. Almost there. Ready? Go. Well, now it's got to play an ad on the screen. Oh my gosh, look at all the ads. This is all okay. Enough of this. Get out of there. Get out of there. Okay. So look, okay, thank you. All I really want to see is this. NHL points leaders, and McDavid, Draisaitl, and Erik Karlsson are all at the very top. Good to see EK65 finally have this breakout season. I mean, the amount of goals and points he's already scored, it's like a season's worth for him in a lot of other years. And granted, he's gone through injury. I got to clear my throat again. Hang on a second. I'm so sorry. Still struggling with that. It's obviously been frustrating seasons for him, dealing with injuries, dealing with another ad, lack of success. I just like the fact that he's scoring a ton of goals, but the point production is not just all assists. It's a lot of goals to go along with it too. He can shoot the puck. He's also getting pucks through from the blue line that are able to cause second chances, rebounds, tip opportunities out front. Struggling with the Frogs tonight. This might be a shorter night. Look, another ad. Are you serious, VRBO? All right, I'm getting out of here. I just wanted to show the stats. That's all I really wanted to show. All right, we're back. We're doing it. I'll get into the chat here in just a second. But no, it's great to see him. And I've heard people say, well, this is going to start up the trade conversation again with 65. But he has such a unique deal. So long-term, the value's way up there. Are other teams enticed by what he's doing? Are they very aware of what he's doing? Absolutely. It's still a hard puzzle piece, to move maybe somewhere else and to fit somewhere else. And honestly, look, Karlsson is a professional. He's going to do the best he can here. He would do the best he could somewhere else. But maybe deep down, in seeing what the Sharks are doing, their plans are for, multiple years. Maybe he's looking at his age and saying some of my best years are here and now. And maybe I'd like to have the opportunity to have these best years somewhere else. But then again, his contract fitting under the salary cap with another team, it's difficult. So, and I'm not even bringing that up for me. I'm bringing that up because I've seen that elsewhere. That this good season by him is going to lead to movement or some type of transaction. Again, it's a very I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not even saying that he's up for that. I'm just saying that I want to address the comments of some by there. Puck Guy is in Concord. Ottawa Deadpool? Yeah, Ryan Reynolds buying the Sens, or at least being part of an ownership group. Oh, Toronto. Big smile. Is that the chattering teeth because you're so cold up there right now? Tell Ryan Reynolds to buy the Raiders instead, please. All right. Reimer took responsibility for the loss. That's already punishment enough for him. And when he did the interview and, that's on me. I don't even think he answered a question before he started talking. I think he wanted to make a statement and get that out there, beat everybody to the punch. Yeah, Puck Guy, you're right. Eric, he is right up there with Draisaitl and McDavid. So we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, again, Karlsson in his time with the Sharks, first off, he's never been able to have a start-to-finish season, let alone a start-to-finish productive season like he had before in his career. And look, I hope it for the team, right? Because the team will benefit from his services like that, and he will help them stay afloat. But at the same respect, I kind of hope it for him too. If he's really put in the work and he's really focused, like probably like he's always been, just that he's been doing all the right things, I hope he gets rewarded for that. Let's see here. Oh, Jeff Carter and Drew Doughty. Oh, when I mentioned London, Ontario. Yeah, well, your boy's been around a little hockey media guide. I've read the media guide. No, I know where those guys are from. You should all make videos of yourself dancing to my on hold music. Yeah, if you like it that much. Do I have thoughts on? Oh, okay. Well, the EK65 and the Sens rumors, and again, that's when it gets very specific about one team, and people will say, well, he's got the connection because he still has his house there, and he called Ottawa his forever home, and of course, but could it fit? Could he fit there? Could it work there? What does the deal look like? Again, the way he's been playing probably sparks this conversation as much as anything else, right? When he's doing what he's doing this year, what other team isn't talking about him? But it's how do you get from talk to action? And am I trying to rush him out the door? No, not at all. But I also understand that, the Sharks maybe want some flexibility of their future, and, does his timeline align with their timeline? That's all. That's really all it is. I want everybody to be happy. Nobody does YouTube quite like you. Master of the craft, Scott, come on. People are going to, when you say something like that, people are going to think that I put you up to that. Master of the craft, huh? Look, I don't even know what buttons I'm pushing here. Should I push that one or that one or that one? I appreciate it, Scott. Unfortunately, I can't shake the frog out of my throat. I have broadcaster's throat. Late at night too. What is it? 11 o'clock, 11:05. It gets to be this hour and I'm tired, and it's the end of the day. End of a long day. Also, would I rather have a billion ads on an NHL stats website or Twitter? So let's talk about Twitter for a second. I saw tonight that it went down for a bit. And then I also saw tonight, coincidentally, that was it like a quarter of their remaining workforce took the severance? Or a large amount? I mean, was it in the thousands that all kind of left last minute? Was it just a large amount? I'm trying to catch up here because I've been watching a hockey game, and I've been doing work since 5:30 or so. I've missed most of this night in terms of other stuff. Twitter is I've been on the platform for almost 14 years. I think I looked it up. I sent 40,000 tweets. I've been very active on Twitter. I was one of the first wave to get verified, kind of in the in the sports media realm, back when that was important. And I mean, it still is important in terms of identity and verification. Some of the changes I don't mind. I mean, if you're going to verify everybody, okay, but you still better figure out another way so that people don't impersonate, or maybe there's a new tag, whatever. There's an official tag or whatever. Like, figure that out. But some of the stuff, that's going on with the workforce alone, forget the product. How about the workforce? It's hard to look at and not have some questions. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what it's doing. It's getting, I don't want to say dangerous, but volatile. Maybe dangerous too. But I'll even be a bit more reserved and say it's getting volatile by the day. Why would you pay so much to take something that already had issues and kind of exacerbate those issues, like bring them to the forefront? Is this an attention thing? And then I saw it was tweeted that tonight is Twitter's busiest time once again, like we're reaching new highs of usage. But yeah, but it's crashing and people are quitting, and can it sustain? I mean, ultimately it runs on servers somewhere, but people need to write the code and maintain the product. I'm sure Twitter would hire 1,000 new people tomorrow, but are they the right people? How do you do this that fast? I don't know. Elon Musk is a person who's really good at technology, science and technology. Tesla is an outstanding product of a car. SpaceX is doing new and incredible things weekly or monthly or even daily. Even the boring company that he built, they make tunnels. They make tunnels better than everybody else. Could go on and on. These are software-based things. Not like Twitter is a very people-based thing. It runs on software, but it's all about what people do, how they interact. And I would be sad to see it go. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go. There's precedent. MySpace, Facebook, it's a shell of what it used to be. I mean, Instagram has kind of hung on and rode a few waves, and I don't know. It's an interesting spot. I couldn't predict, honestly, if it lasts another 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. I don't know. I don't know. It's a really volatile time for that platform. All right. Karlsson isn't going anywhere without the Sharks retaining a significant portion of that contract. And look, I would agree, but that's the whole thing. How much are they up for in that? How much would another team, how much would they take on? It's very complicated when it's that many more years and money remaining. Sharks actually don't have a ton of cap space right now. They are, if I'm correct, they are closer to the upper limit than you might expect. I don't want to play more elevator music, but I'll pull it up in just a second. Do I have any say on the NBC advertising? The same ads on repeat, killing you at every break. I know all about some cheese shop in Texas now. I didn't see that ad. Be perfectly honest, I watch a studio feed here that's separate from the actual on-air product, just because we're here and this is the way it gets delivered. And there are no commercials. So I miss a lot of what you're talking about. So I apologize that I don't even have a reference there. Michael from the great Central Valley of Fresno, California. Always appreciate that. What's the return for EK, though? It's a great question. I think, what you're trying to get out of Erik Karlsson, I mean, obviously you're the Sharks. You love draft picks. You love high draft picks. You love prospect players. But I think, the biggest thing for the Sharks is cap space, flexibility for now, for the next couple years. In a way, I know that's not a return from a different team, but I think that's part of what you'd be trying to accomplish, right? You'll watch the video, Felix. I appreciate that when it drops on Ryan Reynolds in the Sens. But initial thoughts, yeah, and that's kind of how I finished the video. Not to do total spoiler here, but I detailed the backstory of the Sens, the recent backstory of Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds buying Wrexham AFC, And by the way, Welcome to Wrexham is a tremendous, tremendous show to watch, whether you're just a fan of life or of culture or of sport. I binged that one with my wife a couple weeks ago. We got through all those episodes. But there are things to be cautious about, right, with Ryan and with the whole situation. And, he bought Wrexham for about $3 million, less than that. He's going to have to buy the Senators for $650 million plus. So it's a total different ball of wax. But at the same respect, he would not go in this with just one other partner. This would be he would be probably the front man of what's an investment group. And so there's a lot to it. It would not be like Wrexham in any sense, but I wouldn't mind it. He could bring his leverage. He could bring his star power, and imagine the behind the scenes show they could do similar to Welcome to Wrexham. He and Rob McElhenney kind of created a template. They kind of created a template on how to do this. Take over a team, brand it, give it some personality. The Senators could use that. They would need a kick in the shorts. Anyway, I'll leave more to the video, but I found it interesting. I hope you do too. Do I think Burns leaving sort of lit a fire under Karlsson to start really performing? I don't know about that. I do wonder sometimes, and not in any ill way, but if just Burns' absence meant that Karlsson would be in more opportune moments. It's just math, right? Like, somebody's got to do it, and maybe it's just Karlsson's opportunity, but he was playing this, similar minutes before. It's hard to really put a finger on, but I don't know if it's the emotional side. I know what you're saying, Dalton, but that alone should not inspire you and make that much of an actual difference. Opportunity and situations presenting themselves, now that to me is more likely of a difference maker than anything else. Karlsson's trade return is about 50% of his contract in dead cap space. Well, no, and I'm just saying, the upside of what the Sharks really want is just more flexibility. Did Bettman really repeat what Reynolds said about sugar mommy or daddy? You have to get a clip of that. Let's see what we got here. Musk is better than Zuckerberg. Yeah, well, Elon has contributed more, I think. I think I have to do the math on this one. My initial thought is to agree with that. I guess I want to see the side by side on that, but that's not a good race to be in right now, I'll tell you that. Tim says, with the call up of the new D-man, they are technically over the cap. Oh. Interesting. Nick Cicek putting them over the cap. I knew they were very close before that. Jay saying, Brody, as always, you look great, and I'm proud of you. You're a good man. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, that makes me worry. Who's been telling me otherwise? Jay, I really appreciate that. You know what? In this crazy, crazy world, for you to just say that, kind of out of nowhere, and that's just awesome. I really do appreciate that, Jay. It does mean a lot. Thank you. We're just under the cap. It's something like 260 to 70,000. Plus, you have to think about Timo's upcoming contract. His qualifying offer is going to be north of 10 milli. Yeah. So that's the thing I'm saying here is that, one way or the other, some change is going to happen. All right. I think that's going to be it for the old night shift. Been on for about 30 minutes or so, and it's just an unfortunate Sharks loss. And you know what? I didn't focus on this. Let me just say this, too. To allow 7 goals on 21 shots. That's something that happens, I think I saw happen 3 times before in franchise history. Not a high volume night for shots on either side, but 7 goals in 21 shots. That's not something that's going to sit well with this team. All right, that's going to do it for the program. Appreciate everybody for being here. We'll do it again on Saturday night. Sharks taking on the Rangers. Can they improve on home ice? 1-6-3. And again, I know 1-6-3 sounds rough enough, but it's really 1 win and 9 losses. Points in 4 out of 10, but 1 win and 9 losses. I kind of feel like doing radio voice here for a second. No, but we're done. Good night, everybody. Be safe. Have a great start to your weekend. Maybe I'll do a YouTube video tomorrow. Well, yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one is going to come out soon, but live streaming at least on Saturday night if I don't see you before then. All right? Take care, everybody.